Blutbart.
Hello and welcome back to another behind the scenes toy photography video. This week I'm going to show you how to do an easy head swap. I call this shot, Bring Me His Helmet. I'll also show you my editing process. First things first, how do you swap heads on your figures? All you have to do is give a good hard pull and your toy's head should pop right off. If you're having a hard time, you can dunk the toy in some hot water or hold it under a hairdryer for a few moments to heat it up. Heating the plastic makes it much more malleable. On to the setup. I planned for this shot to be a close-up, so I didn't really need to build much of a set. I simply placed an old baking sheet on top of a cinder block to create an elevated platform in front of my background TV. The baking sheet was a bit warped, so even though I used a peg stand to pose my droid, I also placed a small magnet on top to keep the stand from wobbling. I placed the Mandalorian's head in the droid's hand to make it look like an empty helmet. Next, I posed my main subject. Unfortunately for this head swap, the neck holes were drastically different sizes, so I just balanced Din's unmasked head on his armored body instead of actually connecting it. With my figures in place, I did my best to recreate the original scene's lighting with a couple of spotlights and a softbox. I also used a metallic reflector to bounce some light back onto the dark side of Din's face. Here's my starting image. This was a pretty straightforward edit with no need for major surgery. I began by duplicating my original layer to non-destructively edit out the articulation joints on my subject and do some dusting. Next, I added adjustment layers for levels and color balance. Duplicating my touch-up layer, I used the dodge tool to lighten up my toys. Lastly, I added a custom vignette around the edges and applied a photo filter to further adjust the color grading. So once again, here's my starting image. And here's where I ended up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and make sure to check me out on Instagram. Thanks, and until next time!